What is up, guys? I am just another average Mike, and today we're gonna fix my door. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and like I said, today we're gonna tackle this door. If you're new with our channel or new to this build, this is our Sonoma 97, I think, Sonoma V8 swap. We're putting the LT1 engine from a 95 Camaro into this guy with a T56 6-speed transmission. We've already done a ton of work to the front of the truck. Now what I want to do is turn this guy around and be able to roll it in and out of the garage as needed for when the engine comes back. So again, our engine, we did some engine work there as well, so you might want to check out those videos. I'll leave a link to the playlist up here. So with this build, one of the things before I roll it out and roll it back in the other way, and like I said, in and out, maybe leave it out a couple days, we need to fix this door, because right now I have to leave this window down in order to push the car in and out. And obviously I need to shut the door in case it rains or something like that. So generally these have hinge pin issues that would be up front here. A little bit of light, but I do have new hinge pins, but when I go to paint the truck, I'm gonna have to pull those pins out in order to have the door off. So I don't want to put new hinge pins in just to pull them back out. So and I don't think that is our issue. Matter of fact, I know it's not an issue. For one, it might sag a little bit, but we're not seeing any marks up here where this corner is hitting. And if it was just that, I could just lift the door up as I close, but we still have that issue. So if we look down here, this I believe is our issue. This is our latch here, and there's some rubber kind of chilling out here, which I'm almost positive that's not how it's supposed to be, and it probably just needs to be greased up, maybe replaced, but we're going to pull it out just to see. So that's the goal for today's video. We're going to pop this door panel off, pop this latch out, see if we can get it to work. I know right now, even pulling up on this handle doesn't do anything, and obviously this almost looks like in a closed position. It's not going to wrap around the post on the other side there. So let's get this out. Let's see what we would have to do here. Usually just a couple screws, probably some, looks like some bolts in the handle here. Probably a screw somewhere up in here. I'm gonna have to take this doorknob off. I forgot, or the window crank off. I forgot about that, but that shouldn't be too bad. And then probably just pops off the bottom, slides up the top. So let's see if we can get started. Alright, so just to give you an idea, I fought around with this a little bit, but I just took a wire hanger with a little 90-degree bend on it. You got to pull this little clip here. It has to get, if I can hold this straight, basically I have to slide it in, turn it to the point where you can pull this, and it pulls the pin out. You have to be careful it doesn't fly out on you so you don't lose it. But mine just ended up popping off and falling in the hole, which is perfect. And then just to install it, you just pop it back on. so after some fighting here, finally got this sucker out. Took me a little lot longer than I thought it would. So as you can see, there's these rods, as I saw before as I was messing around with it, rods that go, one is for the lock and the handle over here, the other is for the lock and the handle for the outside handle and key. The positions like this, you see they have bushings where the rod goes in. They all look to be okay, but this unit itself is going to have to be replaced. As you can see, I don't think any of this is working, and this is all types of jammed up in here. I don't know where this rubber came from, or rubberized plastic. I don't even know what it is. I guess it's rubber, yeah. But ideally, striker from the door, I should be able to get this open, and I can't because that rubber piece is in the way. So ideally this is open, and then as it hits, it latches shut. Yeah, it's all jammed up. It's broken. So we're gonna go ahead and order one of these. I'm also going to try to find replacements for these hangers. Some of them I broke along the way. This truck's just so old, it's just kind of falling apart on me. Let's get out some new parts and then we'll come back to this. Okay, so after playing with this a little bit, you can kind of figure out how this works. So the device sits like this inside the car here, and this one has spring-loaded action here, which would be your lock or your open handle, and this is the lock and unlock. This is not really going, but yeah. And then on this side here, this is for the handle. Again, spring-loaded. This is the inside one. That's your handle action, and then this is lock and unlock as well. All seems to be okay. This lock part doesn't seem to work that well, but I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. So we'll give it a whirl and see. Now that I have this window track out, in order to get the other one out, makes a little more sense, or makes it a little easier to hook these back on. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can tell one of these is spring loaded, which would be your handle, and the other is not, which would be your lock and unlock. So let's go ahead and put this on. Okay, so I'm seeing some slight differences here. I reinstalled it, didn't work. The inside latch worked, but nothing else did, especially the locking piece of it. And I'm looking at this, and as you can see, this is the lock here. This is the lock mechanism to lock and unlock it, right? One for the inside of the door, one's for the outside of the door. When we do that on this one, it gets bound up, and if you can see, looking at this, there's an extra piece here. I don't know why or what it's for, but I don't think it belongs there. There's also a little metal thing here where there's not one here, a little extra lip. I don't know what that's for. But clearly it's not on this one. So I'm going to send some pictures off to the seller and see what he has to say. I would think if we cut this off with a pair of pliers, just plastic here. If we were to cut that off, it would allow that pass and that would work. I don't know what this piece is for, but we're gonna ask some questions and we'll have to get back to that. A little bit of an update. So we went ahead and just, I don't know if you can tell, but we went ahead and cut or filed. Actually, I scored it and then broke it off and then filed down the rest of it, so that now we can, if I can do this with one hand, we'll use this one. Now I can lock and unlock with ease. That was the problem before. The other problem I ran into was when I went to go take that back out, I accidentally pulled off one of these rails or these rods. I pulled off this one by accident, so I had to, the easiest way, I probably could have fought it a little bit and got my hands up in there and put it back on, but the easiest way that I saw was to just unbolt this handle. We'll slide this sucker back in. There we go. All right, so now both those rods are back on. These rods are ready to go for the most part. Just gotta kind of get them back in place, and then we'll mount this back in, same as we did before. Make sure we got everything lined up, and then we'll put everything back together. So we ran into yet another snafu here. This is the rod right here that goes from the door handle from the outside down to this contraption. It's supposed to go right here in this plastic piece. So I guess the way that some model of the cars have it, it sits like this. The handle would, before it had a little clip thing here that clipped on, kind of held it in place. It's not like these ones where it just, pushes in and locks in there. It would get wrapped around here. The problem is when you open the door, it actually pushes down. Like this lever needs to go down to open the door. So when this would sit like this, it would just slide instead of actually pushing down. So I tried to pop this out, and I popped out an old, I don't know if I still have it here. I popped out an old one of these off the old one of the orange things that are on this one. These are tan, but tried popping out one of those and putting it in this hole, but this hole is bigger, so it wouldn't lock in, so I couldn't use that. So what I ended up doing was, as you can see, there's a hole there. It wasn't there before. I drilled a little hole out, and now this will push into here. Although it doesn't really lock in, it's pretty tight, so I think we'll be okay. So if I don't want to keep pushing it in, pushing it out, because I tried it once and I pulled it back out. So I think what I'm going to do is try that, and hopefully it stays there. I did break, it would have been nice if I didn't break off this little plastic cover that locks there. But I did, so unfortunately, I don't know if it would have locked anyway, but unfortunately I can't use that to keep it in place. But like I said, when I pushed this in, it took a lot of force to kind of pull it out. So hopefully next time I push it in, it'll be okay. And it's not really going back and forth, it's just going up and down, so I should be fine. So, all right, now that that's taken care of, let's go ahead and try to mount this in again. All right, look at that. We are in business. Now, like I said before, the hinge pins are sagging a little bit, so just have to kind of lift it up and then lock it, which is fine for now. Like I said, we're gonna be, I actually had the hook, I actually had the hinge pins to do that, but you know, we want to wait, make sure we're don't need to take this door off to get painted or whatnot. All right, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Really did have a lot of issues with it, not because of how hard it was more so just trying to get that door latch to fit into this guy. It looks like, honestly, it was like 20 bucks on eBay. It's probably the cheapest I could find. I think LMC truck wanted $39.95 plus shipping. This was 20 bucks shipped, and it works. It's made to fit a lot of different vehicles, and unfortunately when that happens, each one's a little bit different. It's probably made to fit another vehicle a little bit better, but we made it work. If I were to do it again, I probably, knowing what I had to do, probably still would buy that one. Obviously we don't know about longevity, but it looked like a good piece, just a little bit modding we had to do to make it fit our application. So but it's no big deal. We got it in, it's working. Now I can get this truck turned around. We can start working on getting the motor back in. So that was the end goal. So unfortunately we run out of time for this video. So if you liked what you saw, or if you want to see how this truck progresses, please give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up on this video, thumbs down if you didn't like it. Comment below, turn on your post notifications. That way, when we get another video out for this truck, you'll be able to see it. The next one will probably include buttoning up the rest of the motor. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just go back in the playlist for this Sonoma build, where we put a new cam, new valves, springs, and we start to put the new roller rockers in, as well as putting the valve covers on and painting everything up. I'm still looking to paint all that stuff. So if you guys haven't checked out our merch site yet, it's teespring.com/stores/Average Mike. The link will be in the description below. Go ahead and go check it out. Help support your boys. You get some cool Average Mike gear. That would be awesome. And I guess I will just catch you guys in the next one. Later.